Hello everybody, this is Verdict and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I really wanted to have this conversation with you guys about Calpheon Elvia and why the recent buffs essentially did absolutely nothing to improve the quality of life onto the spots, and even furthermore did add to the irrelevance of the zones themselves. Now, granted, you are going to see more players now than ever because, well, simply the spots are buffed, but none of these spots are currently worth, if you were to compare them to any 240 plus spots into the Saunils Elvia or even Stars End or even, I'm not even kidding, Histria Ruins types of spots. Now, one of the things for this is, of course, that if you have some experience in game design, if you kind of have a hunch for economics, you would know that this would do absolutely nothing from the get-go. When I saw these buffs, I knew, okay, that's not going to do anything. That's just going to cause the market to tank in a little bit, then everybody will leave because the money per hour is still bad and nobody will bother with these spots. So think of it like this. Pearl Abyss perhaps do not understand that their game is valued in silver per hour. It's not valued in crystallized despair per hour, it's valued in silver per hour. And the spot which has most silver an hour will be the spot where players will go to. Essentially Hex Sanctuary, essentially Calpheon Under, essentially Quinn Hill if you're one of the three classes that can farm Quinn Hill. This is one of these examples where, especially in North America, if you know the North American market, you would know that nobody grinds Capras because all of the spots where you can get the Capras from are not better silver an hour than the rest of the spots, like Orc Camp, like Hex Sanctuary. So essentially you would have people farm there instead of the Capra spots because it's more silver. Just the game is made to function in that matter, or rather the community just functions in that way because, well, the game is valued in silver per hour, not in the resources that you get out of grinding. One of the things which I thought initially would happen was that the buffs would be so good to the point where everybody would be farming their Blessed Velsheart from the Saunil camp or the Primal Giants or the Rhutums, but I was kind of wrong about this because these buffs did absolutely nothing but tank the market for about 3 days, and right now the market has almost recovered towards where it used to be. And the current price on EU on Crystallized Despair is 38 million. That's the average. Before the buffs, they were like 42-ish. So that's barely relevant. It's already back to where it was. And here is why, in my opinion, just the Calpheon Elvia needs to be abandoned completely. And Pearl Abyss should stop working on these. So the Stars End issue with the black distortions, they tried to put an emphasis onto the Calpheon Elvia lower spots by adding them a very good chance for a black distortion earring, but even with that, it's not worth to go there. Even if they would make you to get one an hour, I doubt people would go that because you can get two at Stars End. See, the purpose of the spot is very important. People go for Stars End not because of the Capras, not because of the trash. No, they go there because of black distortions. They're highly desirable, and the Crystallized Despair is not highly desirable. The only way where these spots would be working, the lower Calpheon spots currently would be working, is if they reduce the drop rate on Hex Sanctuary and keep the high drop rate from the lower spots so that the Crystallized Despair is going to tank up in price. It's going to go to 50 million a pop, and the player will be going towards these lower spots because now they will be worth. Instead of them buffing the lower ones, essentially trying to pull pressure away, but buffing the drop would essentially cause the price to fluctuate down. So it makes absolutely no sense. No matter how you look at it, it makes absolutely no sense. These buffs were so silly, and I just can't even. So nonetheless, guys, this might seem as a little bit of an upsetting video. Trust me, I feel absolutely fine about these changes. I will never probably step here more than the 1 hour that you saw me farm over here. By the way, I farmed and recorded this on 144 frames, so I hope you guys enjoy at least the crisp footage in the back. So if you ask me, guys, stay away from Calpheon Elvia. These spots will never work unless they nerf Hex Sanctuary and keep Elvia, the lower spots, an emphasis on them. It's just, they will never work. There's just no reason for you to come here. Like, subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you.